What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Too Far Out TV YouTube channel. My name is Austin Floric, and today we're talking about emotions and why are emotions important. We have emotions in our body, right? You can feel emotions, and I wore this shirt to kind of describe how feelings might feel or emotions might feel, right? You can see that they come in waves, and different emotions represent different colors. You know, some people would represent anger as red, or joy as yellow or green, or love as pink. Some people reference emotions as energy in motion, which I also believe is true. The reason being is because everything is energy, right? Everything is technically a wave. So emotions are important to understand because they represent the internal frequency that you hold at the time. Like what emotion are you holding at any given time kind of represents your vibration. So like there's a scale of consciousness, and if I can, I'll put it right here. So there's a scale of consciousness that represents your emotions, right? And so the lower level emotions are like fear, anger, jealousy, doubt, shame, guilt, and stuff like that. So when you feel those emotions, when you actually feel them in your body, they make you tense up, they make you uncomfortable, they kind of put you in like a fight or flight state where, you know, you're not really looking optimistically out into the world. You're kind of like trying to dodge bullets. You're trying to, you know, shelter yourself away from whatever you're feeling afraid of or feeling anger about. You know, you don't want to express those emotions because they feel like tight and clammy, you know? And so when people get into that state, a lot of the times they just try to avoid the emotion or distract themselves, or, you know, like for me, I would use drugs, or other people might like turn to TV or shopping or food or whatever they do to cope with the emotion, which isn't actually helping you overcome the emotion. It's actually leaving the feeling in your body, which solidifies the emotion inside of your body. Okay, this is how trauma is built. Okay, so you can experience trauma when, like, for example, if a dad yells at a kid, right? And the kid gets freaked out, he's fearful, and now he has trauma about that. He has an image in his mind about the event that translates into an emotion when he thinks about it. So when he thinks about the image that's been zapped into his mind, because his body wants to make sure that he no longer experiences this, so he's going to avoid things that might lead to that event. You understand? Because when he sees that image in his mind, he gets a feeling of fear or scared because his dad yelled at him. And so he doesn't want to experience that emotion, so he's going to do things to avoid feeling that, right? When in fact, it is best for the kid to actually fully experience that emotion, fully experience it and fully express it, whether it's through crying, screaming, yelling, like throwing a temper tantrum, or drawing or writing it out, you know, because those emotions have been stored inside of his body and need to be expressed, or he's going to continue to be in that state trying to avoid something that happened when he was a kid, even though like when you're an adult you might not experience that same thing, but he still has that emotion in his body that he's trying to avoid. So even growing up, he is going to be sensitive around certain areas or topics because he doesn't want to experience that emotion again. Okay, and so again, it's important to understand emotions and your vibration, because if you can sense the emotions in your body, then you can actually start to heal the emotions, right? Feeling is healing. Okay, but it's important to understand and to keep track of your emotional state. And this is because when you are feeling a certain emotion, okay, you're vibrating at a certain rate. Okay, and what does this mean? So if you are feeling down or sad or whatever, right, you're vibrating at a certain rate, and so your thoughts are only going to come to you at the rate of sadness. Okay, so if you're experiencing sadness, then you're experiencing sad thoughts. Okay, and if you're experiencing sad thoughts and sad emotions, you're gonna take actions from a sad person. Okay, which might be more crying, or it might be binge eating, or it might be binge watching Netflix, or whatever it is that that person is doing to not feel the emotion. So because you have this emotion in your body, you are creating a similar event out into the world. Okay, and that's known as the phrase "as within, so without." So the emotions that you're feeling inside of your body will actually translate out into the real world with the actions that you take. The actions that you take translate into the things that you're doing out here. So like whatever you're trying to create, or like a sad person is not going to want to focus so much on trying to build a better life for themselves as they are trying to just get rid of the sadness and to go through that, right? But now if you are living in a state of constant joy or love, or a higher level emotion, like courage, even happiness, joy, love, I just said those. But if you're experiencing those emotions inside of your body, right, you're going to have higher level thoughts. And I don't want to give them like levels and categorize them like that, like it's better or worse, because it's really not. It just all is, right? But if you're experiencing these high emotions that feel great and they feel, they make you expanded, you're looking out into your world with optimism and joy and love and courage, and you're like, yeah, you know what? I can do this. I can take on the world. I can go experiment with buying a new house or buying a new property or something like that, because you're feeling expanded, you're feeling joyful. You're like, yeah, like I totally can do this. Like I'm excited to be able to pursue this goal so that I can help other people feel this emotion. Like how can I help other people expand themselves, and those kind of thoughts are what's going to come from being in a joyful, loving state. So it's really important that we keep track of our emotions and we keep track of our triggers and the things that are happening with us, like what's going on with us. If I'm experiencing something in my life that I don't like and it's causing me grief, or it's causing me to like deplete my energy, I'm giving my energy away to this thing, then I need to close that off or set a boundary that says like, listen, I can no longer let you take my energy in this way. I need to uphold myself, because I feel better when I'm doing things this way, or I feel better when I don't engage with this person, or I feel better when I don't engage with this activity. Or on the other side, I feel better when I do engage with this activity. I feel better when I'm doing this thing. And when I'm doing these things, it lights me up. And so I'm going to do more of it because it makes me feel expanded, and that's like me with the videos. For a couple months, I was feeling really down on myself. I was using marijuana every day, and I just couldn't get out of it, And let me say, correction, I was choosing not to get out of it. I was choosing to stay in that. Whether it's an unconscious choice or not, you are choosing to stay in your cycles. You're choosing to stay in your patterns, okay? And I know that at some level that might be hard to hear, but it's honestly the truth, because whatever you're choosing is the path you're going down. And if you're not choosing something, then something else is being chosen, you could say, for you. But again, if you're allowing it into your life, you're still choosing it. You're still letting it be there when you have the authority to put a boundary up and say, no, this is not for me. Okay, so again, it's important to recognize what feeling state you're at and what things are happening in your environment that might be causing you to feel this way, because it's up to you to decide what you're going to let into your energy and what you're not going to let into your energy, what things are feeding you and what things are depleting you. Okay, and when you can really get a grasp on that and figure out yourself, what do you love and what do you not love, what do you want to accept and what do you want to reject from your life, you're allowed to choose all of that. You're allowed to choose all of that. You don't have to let anybody tell you any different. You don't have to let anything or anybody get in the way of your happiness. You just have to continue to choose that you're going to be happy, or you're going to continue to choose that you're going to keep yourself in a high vibing feeling state, because you know that when you're in these higher states, you're going to have better thoughts. And when you're having better thoughts and better emotions, you're going to create better outcomes in your life. Okay? And that not only benefits you, but that benefits the people you're around. So what if when you set that boundary that you're afraid to set, you're actually being more, you're fulfilling love in the world, because you are setting a boundary for you that is going to make you feel better or you secure, right? And when you set that boundary, you're actually showing other people how to love themselves. And when you're teaching other people how to love themselves, you're creating more love and joy in the world. Okay, so even though sometimes it might be hard to set that boundary, or it might be hard to like really come to terms with the fact that this thing or this person might be depleting you, it's important to really just recognize it and do the hard thing, because you're empowering yourself, you're empowering others, and you're empowering the world. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that this resonated for you. And if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video. And if you want more content like this, I'm building a community right now. It's called the Lucid Path. And this is gonna help you or other people overcome their addiction, master their emotions, and find their purpose in life. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and join with the link below in the description. Peace and love.